our world. Serie, our world.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
Good. Jump straight in.
Can do.
Okay, so last week's results, which are not complete obviously yet, because they are actually playing midweek next week. So Venezia, Empoli 1-1. Fiorentina lost 3-0 to Napoli. Verona, Udinese, Lecce, Genoa and Torino, Parma were 0-0, which is very unusual in Serie. Cagliari 2-1 against Monza. Roma won, and then Roma won the last game, which was the Rome derby, 2-0. Como, Milan, Atalanta, Juve and Inter Bologna in next, as I said, midweek next week to round off. The predictions have been very bad this week so far, but I mean, what we'll do, we can wait until those other games have come through, and then we can give an accurate thing. But I mean, even if we all get them right, even whether it's us or the AI, I think it's going to be. I think the maximum we can get is 50%, which is not good. But we'll talk about that next time. After that, the reason for those games that didn't go through was because we had the Italian Supercoppa. Inter beating Atalanta 2-0 in the first semi-final, and then Milan coming from behind to beat Juve 2-1. Then we had the Milan derby on Monday. Inter went 2-0 up, and then Milan again come from behind to win 3-2 right at the end. Was a brilliant final. Was decent semi-finals as well. Well, I'd say the Dumfries goals were really good in the Atalanta game. Milan, I would say, were very lucky to get through against Juve, considering how they were playing. But I mean, their second half performance, should we say, after the second goal from Inter, was probably their best performance so far out of the two. Yeah, I mean, how did you view it all?
Hey, I thought it was great. Just in general, a lot of those games, but oh man, I'm thinking more about the Super Cup.
Yeah,
that was crazy. There's a lot to talk about. We've been talking about it more than a day, haven't we? It's more, Conte S.A.W came in, and then he just surprised everyone. I don't think anyone expected that at all. He came in, did it against two of Milan's biggest rivals, and lifted a cup like it was nothing. Just 2 games, 2 wins, 1 cup in hand, cigar smoking at the end, Leao playing for him. I mean, I know it's easy to get carried away. I know that Juve game on any other day may have gone a completely different way too. But I mean, that especially that second half against Inter, that was good work. So yeah, I wonder, like we've said, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen against Cagliari. Will it continue? We know leagues and Serie is a complete different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Like Fonseca actually said, his predecessor, he said that when he beat Real, didn't he? And yes, I'm super interested because it's not. I know on paper it's a great game for him to sink his teeth into, isn't it? But it's not going to be easy. I think it'll be potentially harder than the Super Cup games. But contradicting myself, I haven't put that down on my prediction. But yeah, generally I think it'll be harder than those 2 games. But yeah, I was just fixated on that more than the league games that we'd seen. So yeah, that's just my view.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I wouldn't get carried away because this is the type of thing that kind of happens anyway in general for new managers, isn't it? As soon as a new manager comes in, the players seem to step up because they know they're fighting for their places, etc. But that game against Juve was very, very lucky. They played a few minutes like they have done. There's been games throughout the season where they played a few minutes and scored a load of goals, and then that's won them the game, even though the rest of the game, performance-wise, has been very poor. So yeah, I mean, again, even against Inter in that first half, just couldn't do anything. And then once the second goal went in and Leao come on, that just seems to change the game. And they've shown what they're capable of. Because the thing is, I know I'm moaning about Milan, but the thing is because I know that their players, just like, I mean, who should I compare? If I was comparing them to anyone, it would probably be Roma. If you know what I mean, in the sense of they've got the players, they should be up there at the top, near the top, fighting, but their performances have been poor and inconsistent. The only difference between Roma and Milan is that Milan have got away with results and actually finished some results within playing 5-10 minutes, while Roma didn't. Saying that when that derby, it was a really good derby in the first. Roma's performance in the first half was really good, and in the second half, I would call it their defensive performance was really good, because Lazio were all over them in the second half. So yeah, I mean, from a point of view, obviously Conceição needs more time. We're going to have to see who he's going to bring in and who he's going to be getting rid of. Talking about that, and I know you already know my view on this, but obviously I have not mentioned it yet. The Milan going for Rashford, I just don't. It makes no sense to me. Absolutely makes no sense. One, his main position he gets played in is where Leao is one thing. So, but even if they put him as a striker, second striker, or on the right or whatever, they're now saying about getting rid of Chukwueze and Okafor for him. And I think that is such a bad move. Not even just in football terms, but financial terms. It makes no sense. Milan haven't gone out and spent over 20 mil on someone for ages. They've got their limit of something like 5 mil a season, while Rashford's on 13, I think, plus, without bonuses. So it makes no sense why you would want to, even if he took a wage cut, why you would want to do that. It makes no sense to me. And it would, I think from Rashford and his agent's point of view, I think they're just trying to get a loan. 6 months, they reckon he'll destroy Serie A and then get a move elsewhere. That's what I think their plan is. And I think Milan are falling for it, and I don't like how they're doing that.
I think you're definitely right with that tactic. I think what agents have been doing recently is obviously sending players that have stalled in the Premier League, or maybe so-called past it, and then they've rejuvenated careers at Serie. I think Conte started that. Well, maybe Roma did.
Well, there's been
maybe Roma did. Then Conte. I mean, at Inter, he saw all sorts coming over, and then even now Conte again with, people are seeing this working. Agents are suggesting these moves, and I personally agree with you fully. I think it would be bad business.
Yeah.
But also bad tactics to bring someone like that in now, when Milan, they have players in that position who are good. Like, why would you take that risk? It's an expensive risk.
Exactly, and that's what I don't like, is because they've all been saying, as I just said before, like they've limited their the expenditure, the balance, like who they'd pay, how much they'd pay, wages, how much they pay, and then they're looking like they're going to try and break the bank for someone who's, I'm sorry, but it's just I don't see he's up to the thing. Like, I'd rather have, if I was Milan, Okafor and Chukwueze, and work on them and their potential.
Yeah.
And and the thing is, even if they kept them, they could buy someone else and still have loads of money left over. It makes no sense to me. Like, this just feels like it's an Ibra thing because he knows him or something, and that's it. And he's trying to be proved right about something. Like, it doesn't feel right to me. I'm hoping he doesn't even end up in Serie A, but I don't like how he's getting linked literally with everyone in Serie A now. I'm hoping he can go to Dortmund or somewhere else. I just don't want him there. I don't see why they want to act like Serie A is a dumping ground, when the reason these other players that come over here and start into Serie A and start improving is because it is, in the end of the day, if you're getting the better tactical training and better things and all that stuff, we know every time anyone goes to Serie A it's improved. It's not because the league is poor, it's because the rest of it, the behind scenes, is much better. That's it. The games are better. Everything. I don't care what they want to say. I don't fall for this fake marketing rubbish that goes around. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't see how Milan can justify not before purchasing people like Xerxes, and stuff like that, where it probably overall costs less than getting Rashford. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. So I see that's going on. I know we said we won't talk about rumours, but that's just one that's really just done my head in, really, to be honest.
I think it's also one that may well happen. Not Milan necessarily, but they're saying Juve also are in the mix potentially, but
and Como as well.
And Dortmund are there too, so maybe they can take him.
But that's
and
it.
Do something with that.
I have seen they're saying Conceição speaking to Okafor because Leipzig want him, but he's saying whether he wants to. He's going to basically ask him if he's wants to stay, and I'm hoping Okafor turns around and goes yes, and then that means they close the door on Rashford, because I just don't. It just, as I say, from a overall Serie A point of view, that doesn't look good to me. That he just comes in and that's it, and all that money on him, ridiculous. I also saw PSG are trying to go for Kvaratskhelia again, and now they're offering Skriniar money, which is I don't know. I mean, again, right, as I said to you before, players who all think they're indispensable, they're not. It doesn't matter. There's so many players in this world, and the things go round and round, and all these kids come through, and then you get another one, the next this, the next that, whatever. Who cares? If they want to leave, if any of these players want to leave, they're going to all regret it, and I know they will, because they all do when they leave Serie. So we'll see that. I know, obviously, there's also about Frattesi as well. Roma wanted him, but now Napoli are trying to get him as well, because it looked like they're going to be selling in the January for that. And then there's also apparently Al Hilal are trying to go for Barella. There's all these things going on at the moment, but as I said, at the moment these are rumours. So once they are, or if there is any official announcements, then we can talk about that. So I know it's not a football story, but it is in a way. I was just going to say that there's this model who's accused Hernandez of something terrible, which was apparently all hush-hush, that it got all dealt with quite a while ago, but they've only just released the story. But again...
Wait, Hernandez?
Theo Hernandez.
Wow.
But it was a false accusation, and it's one of those things that I don't like, because it's that thing of... we're kind of off topic. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's obviously women can say something and then that's okay. The man suffers, and then all this other stuff. And the thing is, she's avoiding jail because she's famous and she looks good and stuff like that. Otherwise, I don't understand. So it just encourages those girls who go out. There will be boys as well, obviously, who do it. But those girls who go out looking for these footballers, and they're stupid enough to go and fall for it and do whatever. But anyway, that's not anything else that we need to go in. I just thought I'd bring it in because he's been let off it, and that may have been part of the reason that he's dropped his standards this season so far. Maybe because since then I don't know how long it's been sorted, but obviously since Conceição's come in, he's chepped up a bit. So hopefully we'll see the best out of Hernandez for the rest of the season. Then I was going to go on is this weekend's games. It's starting Friday. We've got Lazio Como at 7:45. Saturday we've got Empoli Lecce, Udinese Atalanta, Torino, the Twin Derby, Torino Juve, and then Milan Cagliari. And then on Sunday, Genoa Parma, Venezia versus Inter, Bologna Roma, Napoli Verona. And then on Monday we end that week, the week 20, with Monza versus Fiorentina. And then, as I said to you before, on the Tuesday and the Wednesday, we've got the Como v Milan, Atalanta Juve, and Inter Bologna. So it's going to be a great time of Serie A football coming up. And is there any in particular games or any other stories that you want to be talking about?
Yeah, I mean Milan Cagliari. I know it doesn't sound great, but I just want to see what Conceição's up to, and then Turin Derby, I'll be interested in that one too. So yeah, just those two for me.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, so from the Milan point of view, I think he's got to be given half a season, as long as nothing goes disastrous. He needs to be half a season to see where he's at, and I think by the end of the January transfer window, he's because he's coming before it, he's going to have no excuses. Any players that come in and go out, it will be down to him as well. So we have to see what type of team he's shaping. So yeah, I mean, I'm all good there. I think we're all caught up now, and then I'm just looking forward to all the football happening this week and next week.
Yeah, nice one.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll catch up next week and see what's happening. All right.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.